My name's Lila Farley. I've learned Chinese for half my life and make political satire on YouTube. When COVID hit, I made two life-changing decisions: speak out against the Communist Party and start playing World of Warcraft Classic. You see, World of Warcraft is like fraternities for neckbeards. And as a single millennial trapped inside and dying of loneliness in the pandemic, I decided to join them. WoW centers around two warring factions, the Horde and the Alliance. Players on each side must work together to get experience, level up, and distract each other from real-world problems. Having already leveled a gnome mage, I decided it was time for something new, something with a bit more oomph, a bit more brawn, a bit more girth. And as a regular user of magic mushrooms, I chose a Tauren, the tree-hugging hippie cow people of Azeroth. For class, I went with Druid because they turn into the girthiest, hairiest meat sacks in the game. Developing girthy proved to be a long, hard process. So long, in fact, I got bored and decided to swallow a load of pride and ride some mage's coattails to level 60, what's known as ghetto boosting. By the way, I feel no shame about this because I already leveled a gnome to 60 the traditional way, and honestly, if I have to do another escort quest,
I'm gonna lose my freaking mind!
You see, much like prostitutes, give a mage some gold and they're yours for 20 minutes, grinding hard until you ding.
Wow.
These prostitutes typically hang outside Maraudon, so I hopped on a Pidgeotto and flew to Decius, the Cleveland, Ohio of Azeroth.
You like it? You think Cleveland's cool? I mean, I never heard anybody say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation.
Now, by far the best part about WoW is the social scene. While looking for a local prostitute, I decided to pass the time with some engaging political discussion in LFG. LFG, or Looking for Group, is a server-wide chat channel connecting thousands of gamers together in one single chat box. Yeah, it's basically my favorite thing about WoW. The Frosty I found was named Billette, already hired by a group of like-minded clients looking to ding together all night long. I got to Maraudon first and tried to befriend a young night elf via my girthy hips, but I found her to be quite standoffish and honestly a little rude. Billette did his thing and bam, our evening officially began. One run down and oh so many to go. Unfortunately, I'm unfamiliar with boosting and didn't know what to do after the dungeon was cleared, so I was a little lost. And then, Billette sent a message that would forever change my life.
Maraudon's been reset. Please re-enter the instance.
Had some Chinese brethren established a presence on American servers? I responded in Chinese and attracted the attention of another group member, If I Am PDD. The following is a direct translation of that conversation.
You're Chinese, aren't you? Be honest, bro.
I sent you a voice message. Nice to meet you, little shoe.
Nice to meet you. What should I call you?
Lila.
I'm shocked. Your Chinese is amazing.
I'm so happy. There's actually a Chinese guild on this server.
There's two, but this one is the biggest. Also the biggest on the whole server.
Hold up. Also the biggest on the whole server. On the whole server.
Oh my god.
His guild was called Sunset. The Chinese overlords of our American server. I knew right then and there I had to join them. However, I would come to find out that Sunset was shrouded in controversy. Jenner, a man identifying as a woman, claims Sunset to be ninja looters. For those of you that don't play WoW, being called out as a ninja looter is the equivalent of getting Me Too'd in Azeroth. Your reputation can collapse overnight.
We owe future generations a world free of
ninja looting.
I believe we can build that world. Do you?
I do. I decided to investigate. It seemed a warlock from Sunset rolled need for a blade from Sulfuras. The way loot works in WoW is you can either choose greed for something you want or choose need for something you need. However, sometimes you'll have people try and abuse the system, needing on things that they don't need to try and sell them for gold.
You mess with my community, I'm coming after you.
I'm coming after you.
Others began to chime in. Two nihilists by the name of Snob Goblin and Snipe Me Down infuriated Jenner with their apathy.
They were nihilists, man.
Huh?
They kept saying they believed in nothing.
Nihilists.
Meanwhile, I took a closer look at the allegedly ninja blade, Zhang Thrall's The Protector. Having never played a melee character before, I incorrectly judged that though a warlock will most likely never use such a blade, it might be unfair to say he's a ninja, much less the entire Sunset Guild. What I didn't realize was when combined with Thong Ra's The Deflector, these two blades form the Lasher, an epic sword that is apparently trash and not worth the effort. That's when a statistician by the name of Snooze backed up Jenner, claiming the blade to be 0.83% loot rate. With the girthy court having failed her, or him, Jenner dropped one final bombshell, claiming the ninja warlock bragged about his wealth after ninjaing the blade.
This is a
question of fairness.
Those looking to actually play the game were helpless as LFG erupted into discussion about Sunset. Turns out that Sunset was not only flush with cash, but also exclusively Asian. Shim's bank claimed it impossible to make it through Sunset's interview process, as once they figured out you're not Asian, you would be dropped. Then I hit LFG with the biggest twist in Sulfuras history. Though I'm a white guy in his late 20s, I studied Mandarin Chinese for well over a decade, like half my life at this point.
一帮教父白天到处都跑去，生活困苦却一路欢声笑语。在晚上他们期待赶那一秒数，终于可以静下来去湖边一起钓鱼。
I was confident I could sell Sunset on recruiting me because, well, by allowing me in, they could effectively silence the server's claims of racism. I made this proposition known to Devilbat, Sunset's guild leader, and he directed me to Discord, where I filled out an application. With the help of my friend If I Am PDD, I made it through and received an invitation that night. I thanked my friend and logged off with a sense that my life was about to change.
So going live now, the young will number 4 times out. 要不咱们狂欢在饶舌的怀抱。It's never gonna be a shade.
The next day, I logged on and asked my guild how they were doing.
How's everyone doing today? You guys happy?
Today? I'm surnamed Who.
You mean like Hu Xijin?
But right here, due to a misunderstanding, this is where things started to go awry. Awry. I was gathering herbs, and as I like to first use herbs IRL before gathering herbs in-game, I wasn't thinking clearly. See, Zibber was making a pun, though he typed,
Today? I'm surnamed Who.
When read aloud,
今天姓胡.
The pronunciation of his response actually sounds like a Chinese person with a southern accent saying,
今天幸福.
Today, I'm happy. But I studied in Beijing, where the accent is a lot harder, like a Boston accent. I didn't get Zibber's pun. Instead, I assumed he was talking about the most famous writer in China, Hu Xijin, the chief editor for the Global Times. The Global Times is basically the English-speaking tongue for the Communist Party. Within its news, you can see the deep-rooted insecurities of the CCP. And Mr. Hu works tirelessly to combat Western journalism, or, as Mr. Hu calls it, bias. So here I am, herbing hard and thinking, wow, could it be my Chinese WoW guildie is making a political joke so early in our relationship? I tried to clarify.
You mean like Hu Xijin?
Censored.
What's that mean? What I wrote was blurred?
The message you just sent, all I see is a censor filter. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that's so weird. I was talking about the chief editor for the Global Times.
Hu Xijin?
Exactly.
Huh. I guess WoW doesn't even let you criticize Mr. Who.
It's so weird. I guess the CCP's really infiltrated the whole world.
From here, all I see is blah, blah, blah has really infiltrated the whole world, but I can guess what you're talking about.
Well, what do you think about that?
Well, I'm playing on a Chinese account, so it's got the censorship filter.
Then you better be careful, my friend. Winnie the Pooh is terrifying.
Now, your boy's already outside the Great Firewall. There's much less risk.
And this, friends, this is where everything went to shit.
Oh, you've already physically hopped the firewall. Well, you're good then.
Talking about politics in G-Chat, you're sick in the head.
She's a
Oh, you knobber! Dumbass!
Oh, you're crazy!
Brainwashed by the Epoch Times.
And then bam, just like that, before my sunset dream could ever begin, it was already over. Fat-free milk followed up by wishing death upon my family and calling me the C word in a variety of different ways. What was pretty funny though is Fat-free milk still thought I was Chinese. He just thought I'd like recently hopped the Great Firewall and fallen into the traps of Western media. But ironically, I mean, that's like the best compliment I've gotten in months. Honestly, I blew it. It's not uncommon for a WoW guild to ban politics from guild chat, and I should have just bit my tongue. But I was so shocked that even Mr. Hu, the original Wolf Warrior, had his name censored. Indeed, as China descends into a second cultural revolution, no one is safe from censorship. But this is World of Warcraft, a world in which players can escape the binds of reality and live out their wildest fantasies. They can fight, laugh, even get naked and roleplay with a female night elf. The thought of a coward like Xi Jinping interfering with that, I don't know why, but it infuriates me. So there I was, alone again, until Blizzard announced the release of the Burning Crusade, an expansion pack with a whole new world to explore. Maybe, just maybe, I should start my own guild, one where both Chinese and non-Chinese players unite. Together we'd be a multicultural beacon of light, piercing the darkness of a Cold War with rays of hope. Ha! Gay! I need reinforcements, lots of them. Luckily, I knew just where to find them. Chonglong TV, the second biggest Chinese subreddit that makes 4chan look like Tumblr.
Just love moving, you know. I always done. I'm great at it.
I sent out a call for reinforcements. Start a Horde character on Sulfuras, join the rebellion, and forever change the world of Warcraft. If you like this video, like it, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Also, huge thanks to my patrons and members for making my content possible. And lastly, shout out to Mad Season Show, Pint, Barney, Snacky Box, and Willie for getting me through the pandemic. Much love, y'all. Peace.